if you plan to shoot with static cameras, you have one or multiple cameras, and while you're shooting, they're going to be in a fixed position pointing towards the subject from various angles. Let's say you have two camera angles. One is straight on towards your subject, and the other one is 45 degrees. You don't necessarily need to have camera tracking. You only set the cameras and the background environment once. Make sure it matches basically the angle and the position of the talent with where you want the background. Let's say from the front shot as well as the 45 degrees angle shot. You have two options. Either one, you eyeball it, where you have the front shot and then the background in space. You position manually the background so that it looks fit to where your foreground, your talent is, and then you manually move your Unreal Engine second angle camera to 45 degrees, and you kind of eyeball. You can either eyeball and position the camera at 45 degrees and the virtual camera in similar distance from the full front camera. Either eyeball it, and you'll be surprised on how, especially for interview stuff, how forgiving the angle is. Where even if you're not at full 45 degrees, it's very hard for the audience to really notice that unless you're completely off, where let's say you're supposed to be on the right side with the cam be at 45 degrees, and but in the virtual environment your virtual camera is on the left side 45 degrees, then that's, it doesn't match. But if you put it roughly where it's supposed to be and you're doing a mid shot, the background is a bit more blur, you won't really notice that the fact that it's 45, the actual camera is 45 degrees looking at your talent, but the virtual camera might be 38 or 35 degrees instead of 45. That's forgiving. But if you want to be more accurate, one, you can measure the distance between these two cameras, or either between the two cameras and your subject, and then replicate that distance in Unreal Engine for those cameras. If you want to be smart about it, you can also use something called Aruko tags, which are these QR tags that you print on a piece of paper, and then you have these QR tags in the virtual world, and then there's like a linkage that you can do in order to basically take a picture of the Aruko tag, and it automatically detects the size of the board. You have to print them in a very specific size, 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter or something like that. Unreal Engine knows that the Aruko tag is 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter, and it can position it based on that position. It can automatically respawn your virtual camera based on understanding that Aruko tag. Again, if all of your shots, all of the projects that you want to do is simply static cameras for podcast, interviews, and other type of shoots, you don't need to invest in camera tracking. But you can also get the perspective right by just eyeballing it and making it feel like it belongs for a static shot. You don't necessarily need to match lens characteristics if you're going to have static shots, because you can kind of eyeball it in Unreal Engine. When you spawn a cinema camera, you can specify what focal length you're at, what t-stops, exposure, and so on. So you can match these two and then just align the virtual camera, and it will look kind of integrated. The only time where a lens profile, and what we're going to talk about in the next lesson, is most needed is when you have motion, because that's when things break apart if the characteristics don't translate from the actual camera lens to the virtual one. Let's say you decided you want to have motion, then you get into motion tracking. Most of the motion tracking systems out there work on the same principles. You have some sort of a sensor that attaches to your camera that basically tracks your camera's position in space. There's some camera trackers like Vive Mars that rely on VR type of technology, which is you have these lighthouses and then you have a puck on your camera, and that puck transmits the position in space to those lighthouses. So those lighthouses hit the puck with some frequency and it tells it where it's in space. Now, that's not the best solution, as many Vive Mars users will tell you. It is a derivative of a VR headset tracking system. Dedicated camera tracking systems most of the time will use a camera, so the actual device will have a camera attached to it that looks out for infrared tags. That's how it recognizes its position in space, the primary method. What does that mean? It means, for example, with us, we have a device, there's a camera attached on top, and that camera is an infrared camera. We have a pattern, a very randomized pattern of infrared stickers on the ceiling. We detected and defined that entire map. You can actually see it here. You have all of these infrared labels, which is basically the star map on the ceiling. And then the camera, what the camera does is, well, when I move a meter forward, I'm reading that star map, and that star map moved in relation to where I am, and it moved by this much based on my understanding of space. But that also means that your tracker needs to be calibrated to understand, to read the map, but also understand what is the distance to that map on the ceiling. And also, where am I placed as the tracker in relation to the sensor of the camera in order to send accurate spatial information to Unreal Engine and move the camera. So there's quite a lot of measurements that need to be done very accurate in order to get that information. And all of that needs to be done configured and so on. Whereas with a tracking system that's closer to a VR headset in resemblance in usage and so on, what that usually does, the calibration is really fast. You just put the puck on the ground or something like that. It detects the distance from those trackers, from the lighthouses. And then, okay, cool. Now when I lift it, I know that because it's an active beaming type of frequency, I know that it now is getting close to that lighthouse. Now it's getting close to the other lighthouse. So it's more done automatically. But for systems that are really, really reliable, you do need to do all of this calibration.